Healing from pathologically narcissistic parents can be a long process. Ultimately, what the narcissistic parent does is deny us a coherent sense of self. It interrupts our ability to see ourselves clearly. It creates what I call life dysmorphia, where because the narcissist is always reflecting back an inaccurate version of the child, they in essence become an unreliable narrator to the child's life. But the child does what they're told by the culture, they do what they're told by the family, and they listen to their parents, they believe their parents. And so a lot of the work is about building up a sense of self and repairing our relationship to self. One of the most disastrous things the narcissistic parent does is install a vicious inner critic in the child, right? And then later in the adult, an inner voice rooted in judgment, in distortions, and in cruelty. And so to heal, we have to begin to engage with that voice inside of us. We have to begin to set the record straight. We have to cultivate an inner voice capable of gentleness, of kindness, of seeing ourselves clearly, of recognizing the reality of the trauma we've dealt with and how it's distorted and stunted our lives, and accepting that we have a different path in life, that we weren't given the foundation of self to go out into the world and experience success, experience joy, experience a life that felt like our own. The narcissist essentially supplants us in our seat of consciousness and becomes the hero in our journey, right? And so we have to reclaim the entirety of our lives. And it begins with how we talk to ourselves. It begins with how we see ourselves. It begins with cultivating an ability to be honest with ourselves, to see our strengths, not just our weaknesses, to see our successes, not just our failures, and to celebrate ourselves, right? The narcissistic parent never actually celebrates the child. They don't know the child. A narcissist parent's an idea, an ever-shifting kind of snapshot of a child that fits into whatever delusions they're having at the current moment. And what that does is shatters the child's authentic self. It drives the child's authentic self back down into their shadow. And so much of this work is not about understanding the narcissist. It's not about repairing the relationship with the narcissist. It's about understanding ourselves. It's about repairing our relationship to ourselves. It's about giving ourselves the kindness, the love, the gentleness, the truth that we were denied every moment of our life with the disordered parent. Right? This isn't just about parents with narcissistic traits. I mean, one thing I've learned is that when I'm talking about narcissistic parents, we have a lot of parenting strategies, authoritarian parenting, parents high in narcissistic traits, all of these things that kind of contain components of what we suffer under a truly pathologically narcissistic parent, but not the entire system. And so if you do anything today, catch yourself when you're judging yourself, interrupt that inner critic, and tell yourself the truth, that you're worthy of love, that you've experienced success, that you're worthy of joy.